Well, after that miserable series in New York at Citi Field against the Mets, the Blue Jays obviously went out last night. I guess technically it was earlier today, really. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signed the 14-year, $500 million contract. And we know they start a series against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. A Boston team who had won 5 consecutive games going into play today and had just beaten the living crap out of the St. Louis Cardinals 13-9, 5-4, and then 18-7. And the Toronto Blue Jays beat them 6-2 tonight at Fenway. Jose Berrios not only picks up the victory, but gets win number 100 on his career. So congrats to Jose for that. But the story of this game is obviously Jose. George Springer, who had one hell of a day. And, I guess Vladdy had a pretty good day himself. 2 for 4, got on base 3 times. And the Blue Jays, like I said, win it 6-2. And it all starts in the top half of the 3rd inning. But what I love to see is in the bottom half of the 1st, when they had a guy at 3rd with 2 out, that little off the end of the bat cue shot to 3rd base for Will Wagner. And he kind of had to go down and get that. It was, if you've ever played baseball, that sort of swing, that ball's spinning like this. It's not like a normal baseball where you hit it and it's going to start rotating like that. That thing's going like this. It hits the ground. And so it's just like all over the place. You never know. He kind of has to go down and gets in the glove, fires it kind of 3-bouncer to Vladdy, but ends up right at the chest. And an incredible play to end that inning and stay scoreless. Outstanding stuff from Wagner. And we go to the top half of the 3rd inning where the Blue Jays get on the board. But again, it starts with Bo Bichette. This is the thing we want to see. Bo Bichette, leadoff double to center field. He got robbed in the 1st inning. Great catch by Rafaela in center field. But Bo doubles to dead center field. Rafaela ain't catching that one. Then Vladdy walks. Really good at bat, draws a walk. 2 on, nobody out for Santander. Grounds out to first base, but both runners move up. You have guys at 2nd and 3rd now with only 1 out. Andres Gimenez at a dish. Obviously, a guy who doesn't strike out very much. Hits a fly ball to right field. Scoring Bo Bichette. Vladdy up to 3rd. And you get the lead, at least it's 1-0. But then George Springer comes up. And he drives one to left field for a base hit. In comes Vladdy. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. We're feeling good. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. Rafael Devers to sacrifice fly, scoring Rafaela, making it a 2-1 game, but that's all they get there. We go to the top half of the 5th with Andres Gimenez on base. I think he was at 2nd. George drills one down the line, down the 3rd baseline. It stays fair. Gimenez comes in to score. Springer ends up at 2nd, and if I'm not mistaken, that was in the 5th inning. I'm pretty confident that was with 2 outs as well. Vladdy singled, but then Santander, double play. So double play. So there you go. There's your answer. 2 out. Great stuff from Georgie. Back to back 2 out RBI singles for George Springer. We go to the top half of the 7th inning. And where have you heard this before? Vladdy singles. Santander strikes out. Andres Gimenez is forced out at 2nd base. So he's at 1st base now with 2 out. He steals 2nd. And George Springer drives one to right field for a base hit. Gimenez comes in to score. And 3 straight 2-out singles for George Springer with guys in scoring position to drive in 3 runs. And he's 3 for 3 at this point in the game. Then Will Wagner singles to left center field, scoring George Springer. Jays keep piling it on. It is 5-1. We're feeling good. Bottom of the 8th inning gets a little bit hairy with Jimmy Garcia on the mound. Tristan Casas an RBI single to left field, scoring Rafaela, making it 5-2. He ends up getting out of it by striking out Trevor Story with a fastball right down the dick. But who cares? It's 5-2. Top of the 9th inning, Nathan Lucas drops in a single into center field. Anthony Santander comes in to score, but Will Wagner gets thrown out at 3rd base. And if he got in a rundown or he was tagged out a little bit later, George Springer, who came around to score, it would have counted. But he was thrown out before George could touch home plate, which means that run doesn't count. And you're still up 6-2. But you don't want that being an issue going into that 9th inning. Jeff Hoffman didn't make it any problem. No problems whatsoever. Locks it down. Ball game. Blue Jays win it 6-2. Let's get to the player stats, shall we? Vladimir Guerrero Jr., as I mentioned, new contract, goes out there, 2 for 4, the runs scored, and a walk in the ball game. Good stuff from him. Still want to see some extra base pops, still want to see some homers, but you'll take getting on base 3 times. You like what you saw there. Andres Gimenez, yes, he didn't get a hit. He was 0 for 2, but he walked twice, stole 2 bases, and came in to score twice. You love what you saw there. And George Springer, have a day, Georgie. 4 for 4 with a run scored and drove in 3 runs. What a day for him. Alejandro Kirk, 2 for 5. And as much as I liked him getting multi-hit game, I don't like the other 3 times he got out, or at least 2 of them, where one was with the bases loaded in the first inning, couldn't get it done. And another inning, I believe, had at least 1 or 2 guys on base, couldn't get it done. The 2 singles were with nobody on base. So there's that. But Nathan Lucas went 2 for 5, drove in a run. Jays had 13 hits today, struck out 5, and walked 5. And as I mentioned, Jose Berrios got the start, and he was masterful. You could tell early on in the contest the velocity wasn't going to be there. He was hitting 91 for the first couple of innings. Strikeout numbers were down. Only had 2 today. But you knew that was going to be tough for him, so you had to induce a self-contact, and he did all day long. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits for Jose, 1 run, 2 punch-outs, walked 3, and was great. Other than opening day, he has been masterful. His last 2 outings have been absolutely brilliant. Let me look at his last outing. 5 2/3, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 8. He was great in his last start. He was even better today in horrible conditions. So you love what you saw. Jimmy Garcia went an inning, allowed a hit and a run, but it was not an earned run. Struck out 1 and walked 1, was able to minimize damage. And Jeff Hoffman, as I mentioned, cleaned it all up. At the end, went a clean inning, no base runners, got a punch out of Willie Abreu, and it's ball game. Blue Jays win it. Now, with the win, the Blue Jays are now 6-5 on the year. They're tied with the Red Sox and the Yankees. Or, hold on. Did the Yankees, they pick up that loss already? They already wrote that down, right? Yeah, they already wrote that down. So the Yankees are 6-4 at the top of the division. Jays and Red Sox are 6-5. Who cares? It's 11 games into the year. On to tomorrow. And this game today was very important for the Blue Jays to win. Why? It's probably Easton Lucas. No, don't get me wrong, he was great in his first start, but it's Easton Lucas versus Garrett Crochet. And if you're a Jays fan, you look at today's matchup and you're like, yep, probably should have won that game today. They did. And tomorrow, you're just praying to God you can find a way to get a win. Kevin Gausman, Tanner Houck is the pitching matchup in the Wednesday game. And then Bassett and Buehler in the finale. All right, so that's what it is. If you can find a way to win tomorrow, not only would that guarantee you a split, you'd win the Easton Lucas start, which would be bananas, and you'd beat Garrett Crochet, which I don't expect to happen, but we shall see. Baseball is a crazy sport, right? So you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the dub this evening, hit that like button. Do appreciate that. The subscribe button, you guys not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below, so follow up there if you haven't done so already. I will talk to you guys. Okay, hold on. Raptors edition Wednesday at home against the Hornets, 7:30. Leafs tomorrow, 7 p.m. in Sunrise, Florida against the Panthers. Okay, and for the Toronto Blue Jays, tomorrow night, 6:45 first pitch again. It's Easton Lucas and Garrett Crochet. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the dub this evening. Talk to you guys then.